is the Binti Love Podcast. 5 points, 5 stars, review. And I am your host, Binti Love. Just got some cranberry juice. Very good for vitamin C, guys. Tastes good. Okay, guys. All right. Again, this is the Binti Love Podcast. And today I will be reviewing Basketball Wives Season 10, Episode 10. And everything is going to be a teachable moment, guys. Yes. Here are the beautiful ladies again with the blue. I love these balls they have here. Showing off the detail of them. Nice. I wonder, is that a really, a basketball there? Or is it just an image? Anywho, okay, so the great ladies are here and all done up and lovely. Okay, but before I start, let me just say, guys, the Fair Use Act of 1976 is for criticism, news reporting, commentary, teaching, scholarship, or research, guys. Yes. Okay, so, I gave this episode 4 stars. Let me say it before I post everything and don't give the 4-star review. Yeah, this is 4 out of 5 stars, but I did give it 4 stars. And okay. Point number 1, let me just comment and say, I did not think they heard Jackie. Yeah, because you know how Jackie and Jennifer are going at it all the time and things of that sort lately. And so Jackie, was very, very hurt. Allegedly, Jennifer called her name and, called her out of her name, and, so I don't think that Jackie was happy about that, and I think, this is from last episode and this episode, I think she was genuinely hurt by that, Jack was genuinely hurt by, Jennifer calling her out of her name. And I don't think the people are hearing Jackie saying that this is a genuine sisterhood. Don't you love it when Jackie says, "This is a sisterhood, guys"? How does she say it? I don't know exactly how she says it, but she says, "This is a sisterhood, guys." So, I feel that's what she's kind of says and things of that sort, which I think is really, really cute. I don't know if that's a direct quote, but, allegedly she feels this is a genuine sisterhood. And guess what, guys? That is what people watch the show for. And, because, we like a genuine sisterhood, right? Now, I know that sometimes there are going to be some arguments, but not all the time. And, it has to be a quiet time. There has to be some peace. Okay, now, point number 2. Let me report the news of what I think. Yes. So, okay, I want to report the news of what I think. And it's basically, I guess what the situation with the sisterhood really is they want to see the sisterhood. And that's why people, really tune in. It's for the sisterhood. So I definitely wanted to point that out. Also, for point number 2, Jennifer seems like she might be going through something. Yeah, I wanted to report that I think that Jennifer seems like she might be going through something. I think Jennifer, she's getting very emotional lately, more than normal. And it might be something more there, I don't know. But she seems to be a little bit more sensitive, because, people say a lot of stuff to Jennifer. And she's just like, whatever, I don't care, blah, 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 that, and she doesn't seem to be really affected by it. But lately it seems to be different. So I think she might be going through something. I just want to report that's what I think. And, everything seems to be offending her. So I just want to know, I want to ask a question. Do you guys think that Jennifer is lashing out? Put something in the chat there, if you think that Jennifer is lashing out because she might be going through something. She seems to be, a little bit, a little different. And I think it really hurt Jackie, Jennifer calling her names and things of that sort. So what really is going on with Jennifer? And I feel like she's a little bit different than normal, and which is weird. Maybe something really is going on with her. Maybe she's more vocal about things than she normally is. And let me just say that. Okay, point number 3, my criticism is that the dysfunction seems real. Like, really. These ladies seem like, I don't know, like, they cannot make it through any dinner without breaking down and crying or arguing. Really, guys, I think they can do better. They can have, great witty conversation during, dinner and things of that sort, but not, it always has to be an argument. Can you imagine living in a house full of people and every time you had to sit down for dinner, there's an argument? And I think that they're doing that too much during the season. And it gives me indigestion. And I'm here. So I feel like, let's stop that. You know what I mean? I feel as though I don't like that. Like, people trying to eat and then they arguing and things of that sort. So I don't really like that. Okay. All right, so, I hope for next season, really, guys, that they clear that up in terms of, all the time there's going to be an argument every time, with dinner. I'm like, there's places to argue. Please don't argue over the dinner table. Yeah, no. Point number 4, my MVP moment, guys, which is the most valuable player moment, goes to Jackie. Yes, it goes to Jackie. My most valuable player moment goes to Jackie. She is stressing about the inappropriate name calling being a trigger. And I love that about her. She's like, because it's like, no one wants to really get called names, especially when you're about to sit down to eat a good meal. And you have chefs and things of that sort or whatever prepared that. And you have to have this type of conversation and be called names at the dinner table. Can you imagine that? And I feel there's like a family here, so I think I don't like it. And some of them, a lot of them have done that, and I don't appreciate that, but the most valuable player moment does go to Jackie, because I appreciate her saying things. She never said this completely, but she's basically saying that, stop the name calling. It's really affecting her. And so I thought the MVP moment went to her because she was able to point that out. But the other girls don't seem to get why she's triggered by the fact that Jennifer allegedly called her name. And that's why she's mad at, not happy with, Jackie's not happy with Jennifer because of that. So I want to say this too. This is a question. Have women accepted derogatory name calling as a normal? Like, you can just call other women different types of names or this and that, and we just accept that. And does it bother you when people call you out your name? Put that in the chat too. Okay, I'd like to hear about that. Yeah, so that was the MVP moment. Okay. Which does bring me to my research moment, guys. It's a research moment. This is not a teachable moment. But everything's a teachable moment. Okay, so the research moment, according to research, name calling, over 70% of students under 18 have been affected by name calling quite often. So again, over 70% of students, around 70% of students under 18 have been affected by name calling quite often. Also, with adults, there's become issues with depression based upon name calling. So I feel as though, Jackie pointing that out, that she's tired of that. It might be a real situation with that for both of them. You know what I mean? So I definitely don't think that friends should get to the point of calling each other names, just because they're having an argument. And, these girls have known each other, especially these two in Malaysia, and Brandy. But these, the rest of them came a little later. But Brandy, Jackie and Jennifer, they've known each other for years. Definitely, I think, over 10 years for sure. I'm not sure. But it's been a lengthy amount of time. And so I really feel as though the name calling has got to stop just because you're mad about something silly. Or it might really, it's not silly if it affects you, then it's not really silly. Because someone else might view it as silly. But if it affects you, then it becomes a serious situation. And I don't think the name calling is going well with Jackie. She doesn't like that. Okay. Now, guys, again, this is the Binti Love Podcast, 5 points, 5-star review. Make sure to subscribe right now. Tell 10 people to subscribe too. And put something in the chat and hit the notification bell. Give you a moment to do that. Okay, now moving on to point number 5. The most loving moment was the bond being more solidified with Duffy and Brandy. Did you see that? I saw them being very, very sweet and cordial to each other, and I thought that was great of them, making up. And I saw it, and I thought it was great how that they can get through that, because I was concerned about them for a little bit. I was like, you guys, they've known each other since, I guess, Duffy, allegedly, when Duffy was a kid. I don't know how much older Brandy is than Duffy, but that's a long relationship. It's a sisterhood. Yeah, so I thought that was the most loving moment with Duffy and Brandy. And, guys, I think sometimes after heated arguments comes significant change and understanding. You know what I mean? I think Brandy does not want Duffy to grow up. Allegedly she knew her as a small child, and, they were very close, and she doesn't want Duffy to grow up. Now she's in a relationship, she has another child, and she's growing up, and she doesn't want Duffy to change, So it's kind of like a big sister, little sister type of situation. But I really do think that sometimes after heated arguments comes significant change and understanding. But how do you approach the arguments, and how often are they going to be, which can damage the relationship? But yeah, so I think she doesn't want her to grow up. And so, but she is growing up, and I don't think that Duffy growing up is sitting well with Brandy, and I think that's the issue that they're having. She's becoming more of her own individual, and she's just getting older. But I think Brandy, Brandy would probably stay just being her big sister, but not an equal friendship, if Duffy can't grow up to be an equal woman, just, it's like that. But, I think that's what Duffy is like concerned, like, I'm older now, and I want more of an equal friendship. And that's just, what I get from that. But I love that they made up and they're putting it behind them, because they barely ever argued before, But it happened. And so, okay. So, all right, guys. That was the 5-point, 5-star review. I'm Binti Love. Subscribe, guys. Bye, guys.